So I used to work at the bike kitchen in San Francisco. I used to volunteer there. And looked on their website and found this place. Now we're here in St. Paul, Minnesota. And stopped by this bike place so I could fix my bike. Actually put it together, get some parts. This place is amazing. So I'm stoked.
We kind of segregated our shop into two areas. On this side is the kind of shop. This is where we fix up bikes. On the other side over here is where we have the sales. Our operation is mostly funded through sales of bikes, recycled parts, some new parts.
The Third Hand Bike Co-op in Columbus, Ohio is it's completely run by volunteers. It's the structure is a democratic collective.
Our main goal is to empower people to be able to work on their own bikes and have the skills to maintain them and ride them. So we have a bunch of volunteers in here right now. A lot of them are paired up with some of our main mechanics, and our mechanics are showing them how to fix their own bikes, any problems that they have. So that's really what's going on right now. We have some sales happening, but really that's not what we're here for. We're here for teaching people what they need to know.
And building community, of course, is the most important part. Being here, being a hub for people to come to and learn new things and new skills, so that they can go out into the world to teach other people about it too and sustain themselves.
One of the things I love about our bike cooperative is we've started working with neighborhood kids. When the bike cooperative moved into the neighborhood it's in now, one of the very first things that volunteers started doing was walking around the neighborhood and fixing brakes on kids' bikes, because there were all these 8-year-olds riding around the neighborhood on crappy bikes, and they're like, "Hold on, let's fix your brakes. Let's do this."
We get lots of bikes that are donated, that like a decent bike is donated with a cracked frame or something, or the fork is bent. We'll scrap the bike but save as many parts as we can, so that we're really trying to recycle everything. We're trying to get reuse as much as we can. When a bike comes in and everything is useless, we recycle the scrap. We pull the rubber off, we recycle the rubber at one place, we recycle the steel at another place to try to keep bikes out of the waste stream as much as possible.
Do you guys sell bikes that you fix up?
We do. We sell them inexpensively so that people have access to bikes, and then also people who volunteer actually earn time towards purchasing a bike.
We do a lot of like work trade, so especially for people who can't afford parts, we usually try to get them to if you volunteer an hour, then you can get a part. We do earn a bike program for folks who can't afford to buy a bike. So like we give $7 in-store credit per hour to people who are, they come in, they can volunteer for 10 hours, then they have $70 store credit towards a used bike or any used parts.
I felt happy. I was glad to finally get that thing put together, so now I don't have to worry about it anymore. Great place. Like friendly people, all these parts, like every tool I could imagine needing. This place is awesome.
It is the most efficient form of technology that's ever been created to date. So
I think people who invented bikes really had the right idea, and unfortunately got away from that with automotive companies. And then now we're having all these crises with shortages on oil and wanting to here in the United States and so on and so forth.
Bicycling as a sustainable activity, as a social justice activity is, I think, significant. From an environmental perspective, it's just, it's a no-brainer.
the way that you transfer your power from your legs to the wheel, through all the technology that's come out with shifters and things like that, it is the most efficient form of power transfer.
You're not wasting resources either. You're relying on your own resources to get yourself around, and I think that's more empowering than being in a car, driving around, getting upset at other people because of their driving ways. So 2 wheels are better than 4, I think.
And then just general health impacts, that so much of the chronic illness that people are facing have to do with physical inactivity levels.
And it's also fun.
Yeah.
It's something to do. I mean, it keeps you in shape. You're saving money while you do it.
I feel so much better. Like when I drive, I feel like I feel like I do when people drive, you know?
Yeah.
I'm ready to go for the day if I've biked to get there as opposed to riding in an automobile to get there. And we need to encourage people to really use this really sustainable technology to get from here to there. When women started cycling in the 20s, like it was a huge deal. It was a really empowering thing that women who did not otherwise have access to get from here to there. And one of the things we see with people who are low-income people, that a bike can actually change your life, and can do it in a way that's economically accessible and is also really good for the environment.
Yeah, it's much better than a car.
Right.
I mean, biking is great in big cities. Like,
it really is.
So much more fun to get around, and you don't have to worry about parking.
Right.
Yeah, and if you look at other countries too, like I know that a lot of countries in Europe, cycling is the main method of transportation.
Right.
And in San Francisco, I mean, all my friends ride bikes. Like, no one has a car there. So, I mean, I'm already used to it, and we just have to bring that to other cities where it's not quite as common. And maybe a place that's more spread out, like here. I mean, people should encourage cycling more, and hopefully they'll see by all this traffic on the street right here that,
right.
I mean, these cars aren't even moving, and cyclists are going like twice as fast. And it's obviously a lot quicker to get around.
So don't you pass it by. We've been watching the cracks roll.
And then the other thing is they epoxied this into place without realizing the only way you can then tour by like tipping the whole bike. There are a couple design flaws. It's a new improved version is of course coming out soon.
That's cute.